In your honest opinion, what's more evolved, you or a plant? In a lot of ways, the answer is the plant. That's right, there is actually legit evidence that plants are more evolved than humans. To see why, let's peer down into the smallest scale of life, the cell. This is an animal cell. It's what you're made of. The animals that these cells build up get their energy by stealing it from somebody else. A zebra eats grass and transfers the energy from the grass to itself. A lion eats that zebra and transfers the energy from the zebra to itself. Now, this is a plant cell. They have these tiny things inside of them called chloroplasts. And chloroplasts are basically magical. Long ago, an ancestor of the plant cell was very similar to an animal cell. They didn't have any chloroplasts. And then, someday, for some reason, one of those cells absorbed a smaller cell called a bacterium. Instead of breaking it down and killing it, it merged with it to make a single life form. The bacterium became a chloroplast, which spent all of its time turning sunlight into food for the entire cell. All of a sudden, these new plants didn't even need to steal energy from somebody else anymore, like animals. In fact, why waste energy moving around at all? And so plants decided to stay perfectly still and just soak up sunlight. Meanwhile, those outdated animals were still wasting energy on moving around. But the plants, on the other hand, were getting all of the energy they ever needed without even doing any work. And now that they were just sitting around all day, they put a wall around every single cell in the entire plant. Animals couldn't do that because the walls were too rigid. But this wasn't a problem for plants. They stayed perfectly still. The cell wall made it so that the plant could better control what went out and what came into the cell. Or what didn't come in, like a virus. After all, it's pretty hard to get through a wall. And so there you have it. Animals waste time and energy moving around to find food just so they can blow that energy on moving around again. Plants, on the other hand, get all of the energy they ever need from the sun, thanks to the magic of their chloroplasts. And now that they don't need to move around, they can put protective barriers around their cells. For those reasons, it can be argued that plants are actually more evolved than humans. I know it may seem like humans are way more evolved than plants. I mean, we have airplanes and the Cheesecake Factory and HBO. How could a plant beat that? But from an energy management standpoint, plants have taken massive steps in evolution that we could never dream of. And so I'll leave you with this final thought. If all of the plants in the world died out, the animals would too. But if all of the animals died out, the plants would be fine.
Stay turned down.